Hello, seventh period. All right, it is the last time we're going to visit our BW3's graph. So what I need you guys to do is I need you to open up your binder, your notebook, and I need you to go and page to the beginning of this chapter where we had our BW3's graph. So go find that for me. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Okay, hopefully you found it. Here's the thing. We're going to be focusing in on the demand schedule part of this. So if you remember, the demand schedule is this table that I blatantly went and take a picture of somebody else's, and so I'm going to use that. But here's what happens is that you remember the demand schedule is basically a table that has price and quantity. We added the market demand. Remember, the market demand was from 3 people that I got their individual demand schedules from, and we added them together. Now, here's what we're going to do is that we're going to add to this. So the first thing I want you to do is to the left of this schedule, so on the price side over here, okay, I know you don't have a lot of room. It doesn't require a whole lot of room. But what I want you to do is I want you to label each price point A through H. So just like I did here. Okay, so notice I have A for price $50, B for 40, C for 30, and so on and so on. So label A through H right now. The reason I want you to label A through H is because it makes it a lot easier to be able to talk about point A or point F rather than having to deal with the individual prices. That's why I have you label them. Okay, so hopefully you're done with that. To the right of the, on this side, to the right of the market demand column, we're actually going to add a column because what we're going to do is we're going to be trying to figure out the elasticity of demand for your BW3's graph. So to the right over here, you're going to add another column. So add to the demand schedule total revenue. Now, if you remember from the notes, I told you that total revenue is going to be the total amount spent at any particular price. We figure out total revenue by multiplying price times quantity. Now, because everybody's quantity is different, individual demand schedules, we're actually going to use the market demand for this. So everybody has the same total revenue. So we're going to actually multiply price times the quantity of market demand. Okay? So that said, total revenue, remember price times quantity. So at point A, we're going to take 50 times 1. So our total revenue is going to be 50. At point B, we're going to multiply 40 times 1 to get a total revenue of 40. At point C, we're going to multiply 30 times 1 to get a total revenue of 30. At point D, we're going to multiply 25 times 2 to get a total revenue of 50. All right, see if you can figure out the rest of them. Go through the rest. There's 4 of them. Okay, so at point E, hopefully you got 60, 20 times 3. At point F, hopefully you got 75, 15 times 5. At point G, hopefully you got 60, 10 times 6. And at point H, hopefully you got 50, 10 times 5. Okay, now what? Well, if you remember, when we determine type of elasticity, we have to compare 2 points. So we're actually going to compare 2 points, and we're going to compare along the way. So we're going to compare from one point to another on our demand curve for BW3s. So we're going to start with looking at point A to point B. Okay, point A to point B, we're looking at and comparing what happened to the price and what happened to total revenue. So from A to B, what happened to my price? Well, my price went down. So from 50 to 40 went down. What happened to my total revenue? A to B, it went down as well. Total revenue decreased. When the price and total revenue are going in the same direction, what type of elasticity is this? Elastic, inelastic, or unit? Hopefully you said inelastic, because that is when the price and total revenue are going in the same direction. All right, let's check out from B to C. So from B to C, our price is still going down. Our total revenue is still going down. They're going in the same direction just like the last one, so this is still inelastic. Going from C to D. Going from C to D, our price is going down from 30 to 25. Our total revenue, however, is going up from 30 to 50. So when our price is going down and our total revenue is going in the opposite direction, it's going up, what type of elasticity is that? Elastic, inelastic, uninelastic. When they go in opposite directions, it's elastic. So you can label this elastic. Yes, you should be labeling this in your notebook. All right, going from D to E. D to E, our price is going down, 25 to 20. Our total revenue is going up, 50 to 60. Price is going down, total revenue is going up. This is elastic. Going from E to F. E to F, my price is still going down. My total revenue is still going up. Price is going down. Total revenue is going up. This is elastic. Going from F to G. F to G, my price is going down. My total revenue is going down. So price is going down. Total revenue is going down. They're going the same direction. This is inelastic. And lastly, going from G to H. G to H, the price is going down. Total revenue is going down. They're going the same direction. Again, this is going to be inelastic. All right, so keep in mind you can go from point to point like that, or you can talk about the entire demand curve. So we could talk about the whole thing. So going from, let's say going the opposite direction. We're going to go from H to A. From H to A, what happened to my price? Well, my price went up. Going from H to A for my total revenue. Total revenue went from 50 to 50. Oh, wait a minute. That stays the same. What type of elasticity is it when the total revenue stays the same? So when total revenue stays the same, and yes, this is hard to write this way, this is going to be our unit elastic. Okay. The very last thing that you guys are going to do for me for today is you guys are going to do a practice worksheet practicing total revenue and practicing the total revenue test and the 3 questions test. So in a minute, you are going to get this worksheet. Okay, so I want to explain it before the sub passes it out. First off, you will notice that when you get this worksheet, you have 5 problems first that are all going to be problems that have to do with numbers. Okay, 3 of them have graphs, 2 of them do not. Do not forget about number 2 or number 4 that are in words. They don't have a graph, they're separate. Okay, I did that on purpose because sometimes you don't have a graph and it's just written. For example, that may happen on your quiz. Okay, so what you have to do here is you have to figure out the total revenue. So you only have to figure out the total revenue on the graph from point A to point B. So just total revenue at point A, total revenue at point B. Then ask yourself what happened to the price, what happened to the total revenue. If they go in the same direction, it's inelastic. If they go in the opposite direction, it's elastic. And if they go in the same direction, if the total revenue stays the same, it's unit elastic. So do the total revenue test for the first 5. And then the last 5 on the bottom are going to be ones that didn't have any numbers. Okay, so how do you do that one? How do you find the elasticity for something you don't have numbers for? Hopefully you said the 3 questions test. Now, do you need to know the 3 questions test for your quiz on Tuesday? Yes. So here's what I would suggest you do. Right at the top, right above this, write the 3 questions out. And then for each one of these, just go through and answer the 3 questions. So it's a luxury or a necessity. Yes or no, yes or no. But then say elastic or inelastic. Remember, it's a best 2 out of the 3 deal. So if 2 out of the 3 questions are telling you it's elastic, it's elastic. 2 out of the 3 are telling you it's inelastic, it's inelastic. Now, you can work on this together as your group. So work on it together, help each other. This is going to be part of your Chapter 4 notebook. So when I collect your Chapter 4 notebook on Tuesday, make sure it's done and in there. On Tuesday, before we do our quiz, I will come around and check that you have it done, and then I will show you the answer key. Okay. Um, I will be back at school after school is let out, if anybody cares to stick around that long. Otherwise, I will be at school on Monday. I'll probably be in my classroom around 8:15 if anybody has any questions. Other than that, that's it. That's all I got. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday.